Okay, I think we are live. Okay, so I'm live today on Instagram and on YouTube. It's my first time going live on YouTube, so if my eye contact is all over the place, that's just because I have a super janky setup trying to do both things at the same time. So today I'm going to talk to you all about how to figure out your unique interior design style and how to get a style that is really personal to you. If you have ever asked yourself, like, WTF is my style, this is for you. Stick around. If you have an idea of what your style is, but you're not really sure how to articulate it to anyone, this is for you too. If you don't really care about personalizing your style and like your idea of personalizing your home is just throwing some family photos up on the wall, this might be a waste of your time. I'm just throwing that out there. But stick around if you're curious about other ways that you can personalize your home. Okay, so if you haven't seen me before, I am Heather. I'm not your mama's interior decorator. I equip millennial homeowners to bring their design dreams to life in the homes that they were never expected to own. And today I'm going to go over the 3 F's that you should give to define your style signature. So just to make sure that we're all on the same page about what a style signature even is, your style signature is really the unique combination of design elements that come together to reflect who you are and how you want to live your life in your home. It's not based on any trends. It's not based on any shoulds. It's really all about the things that make you feel great in your space, and it's 100% you. And like your written signature, it is difficult to copy. So you may have had this experience where you came across somebody's Instagram page or Pinterest board and you really love their style. So you try to do the same thing in your home, but it just does not translate. And it feels like something got lost in translation. And that is because you're essentially trying to copy their signature. You're trying to fit yourself and your home into their style box. And I think defining your style for yourself is something that a lot of people really struggle with. So if that's something that's been hard for you, you are not alone. And I think that there are also typically 2 main solutions that people gravitate towards when they're trying to figure out what their style is. So the first one would be like style quizzes. And I really want to just write like a manifesto to be like, no more style quizzes. We're done with that. Okay. Because I really don't feel like they're super helpful to most people. And based on a poll that I did recently, y'all haven't found them super helpful either. So you'll usually find these on websites of interior decorators and designers. And I fully understand that their intentions are good. And what they're trying to do is help you to identify which style category you fall into, traditional, mid-century modern, glam, boho, whatever it is. The problem for me is that these basic interior design styles really kind of are just the beginning of creating the kind of environment that you want to live in. You really have to take it a step further to get to a style that's personalized for you. And style quizzes are just inherently impersonal. There's no way to distill the essence of you in 10 questions or less. It's not possible. You're more complicated than that. I promise you. And I feel like, they really just kind of put you into a style box, and nobody puts baby in a corner. Okay. So I like to call my personal style Uptown Funk. And I know that's a result I'm never, ever going to get out of a style quiz. It was something that I really figured out over the years through trial and error and really just getting to know myself. But it really doesn't need to be a long, drawn out process for you. If you are moderately self-aware and you're able to be honest with yourself about what makes you feel good at home, there's another way, which I will get into in just a bit, for you to figure out what your style is. So let's leave the style quizzes to figuring out what type of sandwich you are on BuzzFeed. That really just seems like a more appropriate use of a quiz. Okay. The second style solving solution, say that 3 times fast, that people generally turn to are inspiration sites like Pinterest, Houzz, Instagram. And these are great sources of inspiration. I use them all the time. What can get kind of tricky about it though is if you just pin and you're saving things, and then you have a board that has 100 photos, but you're not any closer to figuring out what the common threads are that tie those things together. Or you never go back and curate it. You never edit it down to the things that you really love. And you're not able to like identify the elements of the style that you're really resonating with. So I know for me that the things that I save can sometimes just be based on like the mood that I'm in or the shows that I'm watching at the time or things like that, instead of being more tailored to like my personality and my lifestyle. Sometimes that aligns with the trends and sometimes it doesn't. You know, almond joy's got nuts, mountains don't. So how are you distinguishing what you are being influenced by versus what you're being inspired by if you don't already have a good understanding of what you like? And that's like a rhetorical question out there for you. Just you know, like think about that for a little while. Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people really struggle with is making design decisions. Okay, and I think that in large part is due to not understanding how like to reflect your style and your personality in your home. So it feels like there's endless options available to you. But when you know what your unique style is, you're kind of able to cut through the noise. You can recognize that maybe something is beautiful and it's functional, and still walk by it without having to add it to your cart, you know, without feeling that sense of FOMO, because you know what you're looking for. So you're not missing out on something if it was never aligned with you in the first place, right? So all this to say that the missing ingredient in those solutions is you, really. I believe that you are the authority on you. And even if you can't quite articulate what your style is, you know yourself the best. And you just may need a little bit of help pulling it all together in a way that can actually, you can actually better communicate it to people and will help you make better design decisions. So I've got a very simple system based on my own style journey and working with clients that I would love for you to try if you are still feeling stuck with defining your style. So let's get into the 3 F's that you should give to define your style. All right, the first F is for foundation. And this is where those common interior design styles do actually come into play. Those styles are just the beginning of figuring out your style signature. They are helpful in creating a solid base that you can build upon to create your style signature. And generally they're based on like a specific time and a place in history and what worked, what was popular at that time or emerging at that time. And understanding sort of the elements and the principles of those core styles is really helpful in creating your style signature. So using those tried and true principles and elements, you really are, you don't have to start from scratch and you have more of like a rough blueprint to work from. And they can really serve as the base of your style so that you can layer your own personal taste on top of that. So knowing your style foundation can help you with style words that you can use to communicate your style to other people, or even just help you have the right words to search for inspiration in products. The issue that I've encountered with relying on just these basic interior design styles is that, especially on sites like Pinterest, if you just search like traditional style living room, for example, you're going to get a lot of stuff that is actually not even traditional, or it really doesn't fall into that category. And if you don't really have a good understanding of what the elements and principles are, then you can kind of get stuck and confused trying to sift through images that aren't really what you're looking for. So I've created some style cheat sheets that you go over like the features and elements of the most popular design styles right now. You can find those on my website at heathermadehome.com/style discovery. They also link to some Pinterest boards where I have pulled together some visuals that represent each design style. So check that out and have a look to see which styles resonate with you the most. If there's a style that I didn't include that you want some information on, go ahead and shoot me a DM or an email and I'll add it. Okay, so the next F that you should give is for frame. It's really not enough to just know that basic interior design style. You really want to understand which elements of that style that you like and that you're drawn to and resonating with. So framing your style is all about identifying the design elements that reflect who you are and how you want to live in your space. You want to be specific here. So let's say that like your foundation is traditional. What elements of that style resonate with you? Are you drawn to the symmetry? Are you drawn to like the formality of it? Are you drawn to the contrast of dark wood with neutral colors? This is going to add to that style word bank so that when you're talking to your decorator or designer or contractor, or even just a spouse that's skeptical of what you're trying to do, you can communicate more clearly. So in those style cheat sheets that I made for y'all, I've jotted down some key features and elements that you can use as a starting point for framing your style. And I'd suggest that you start, pulling elements from that foundation style that you decided on, but don't stop there. Have a look at the other styles as well, and see what other elements you might want to incorporate. That's going to make your home feel more interesting, more personalized when you don't strictly stick to just one style. Even if most of the things that you do bring into your home are that foundational style, the other elements that you bring in are what can help you reflect your style or your personality and your lifestyle better. So back to that traditional foundation style. Let's say you've pulled some elements from that, but you also like the sparkle and glitz that's associated with a more glam style. You then know that you're going to have maybe the symmetry and the high contrast of traditional. And then you're also going to find ways to incorporate some crystals and high gloss finishes and things like that. So here you're also going to focus on finding adjectives that describe how you want to feel in the space. Your style really isn't just about how things look. This is your home environment. So it also is about how it feels to be in the space. So for example, you might want your home to feel collected or casual or relaxed and natural. It just depends on the vibe that you're going for, the vibe that matches your personality that's going to make you feel at home. So now we're almost done here. There's only one more F to give, and that is finish. So this is where you're going to pull together the elements that you've reflected on and decided that you wanted to incorporate into your space into one clear style statement. Your style statement will allow you to be able to communicate all of the things that you've decided on to anyone that needs or wants to know. And you don't have to come up with that on your own. So I've got a Lib Style Statement for you to use. So it goes a little something like this. My style is, and then you would insert the adjectives from the framing section and your foundational style. And then you'd say embracing, and you insert the frame elements, the design elements that you've chosen. So for myself, I might say like my style is relaxed, funky, classic style, embracing high contrast color palettes, architectural details, and unexpected extras. Okay. And that is why I like to call my style Uptown Fun, Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. So that's a quick overview of the 3 F's that you should give to define your style. I hope that was clear. If you have any questions, let me know. I do have a free workbook for you that you can use to work through this on your own. You can grab that at that same link, heathermadehome.com/style discovery. If you're watching this on Instagram, there's a link in my bio. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is a link in the description. So just quickly, one of the questions that I've gotten is, how do you do this when you're sharing your space with somebody else? And I find that this is actually something that really stops people from even getting started with decorating their home. And if this is the situation you're in, you're living with somebody whose style maybe is not the same as yours, which is a pretty common situation. I would recommend that everyone that has real input into the design decisions actually go ahead and work through this exercise on their own. Okay. This doesn't necessarily mean everybody that's in your house. So I live with my husband and my 2 kids, and my kids get a say in how their rooms look. So I might do this with them for their rooms. But when it comes to the rest of the house, that's going to be me and my husband making those decisions. And I think it's helpful for you to just know for yourself what it is that you want and how you want to reflect that in your home. And then once you've each completed that, then you can come together and see what elements you might have in common, which elements you both like that are complementary to each other. And then, you'll be better able to combine your style with your partners or whoever it is that you're living with. But if you both have a clear understanding of your style signatures, it does make it a lot easier to figure out how to work together. Okay, so that is all I have for you all today. If you have any more questions, best way to reach me is email, send me a DM on Instagram, or leave a comment here. I think that understanding your style is the very first step to creating your dream home. And I really want to be able to help you all with that. So thank you for joining me today, and have a great weekend. I'll see you around the internet.